Hello everyone and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's good to have you here for an Airbus A320neo startup and departure from Haneda Airport in Japan. This is one of 40 different airports that have been handcrafted in this game, and I'm really excited to take off from an airport that I've frequented a few times. Wow, look at those storms. I believe the weather in this game, by the way, is all mapped out in real time, or at least real weather conditions, day, night, and whatnot. It's really cool to see. It's about noon then in Japan, so let's go to Haneda. I believe each airport that might be, I think, handcrafted is with a star, as well as any sort of landmarks as well. So let's go ahead and jump over to Haneda, and let's go ahead and set that as our departure as we get started with our A320neo startup. We'll go ahead and fly now and see how it all goes. We'll also need to actually pick our let's see, our area where we're going to be parking. So let's go to, let's start from ramp number 20. Sounds good to me. Set that as our departure. Let's fly. Here we go. And here we are, Tokyo Haneda International. It's about 10 a.m. and it's looking beautiful. This is an airport that I've been to before. And again, remember, it's one of 40 different airfields that are available in the game if you get the premium edition. And that right there is the Airbus A320, which is one of the fastest, or rather the fastest selling aircraft of all time, and it has high detail to it. You can almost see the rivets and everything. In fact, you can, if we get close enough to it, you'll be able to see all the minor details, which is really amazing. Let's go ahead and hop aboard and get her started and see what we can do to push back, taxi, and then finally take off. Let's go ahead and let us know that we're ready to fly. Yep, good. Ooh, look at the wings. You can see them bend a little bit there in the wind. Very neat. Okay, let's hop inside the aircraft then. We can actually take a look around it a little bit. You can kind of see how long it is, and it's a narrow-bodied aircraft. Ooh, look at that. The wind. That is beautiful for a simulator. The wings with the wind just blowing a little bit there. There's the landing gear, and of course each of the engines on either side. And we'll get a close-up on those engines too as soon as we're ready for takeoff. We're going to take a look at that one as soon as everything's ready to go. We'll see them fire up here shortly. Let's hop inside and get her started then. So there's a checklist in this game, which you can use if you're a noob like I am, and it'll really help you out. So to access this, you'll probably want to click here AI control in order to bring up the checklist assist, and then you can also click on the checklist here. That'll help you to get things started if you don't know what you're doing. And even greater details, you can click on the eye and it'll show you exactly which panel and which button you're looking at and what to do with it. So for example, battery switches we need to turn on. So that means we've got to click each of those in order to turn those to the on position. Then we'll need to do an external power connection. We'll actually do an evaluation for each of these so that way it gets checked off so we know that we're doing those correctly. So it looks like the first step is complete. External power then needs to be set to on if available. So we'll go ahead and do that. And there it is. And then we'll go to engine generators. Those need to be turned on. Generator 1 and generator 2. Excellent. Engine bleed air switches need to be turned on. That's interesting. It already gave them the check mark. Oh, I see. It was already set default to on. All right. Then we're going to switch to the APU master switch. And then we'll also click the APU starter here in just a second. As soon as that's ready. And that'll have to charge, I believe, and we'll have to wait until that gets to about 100%. So while we're waiting, we can check out the other steps, which are APU bleed and then turning external power off, since we'll be under our own power from there on out. Pretty cool. We'll also be requesting to be pushed back as well, and these are things that I'm really unfamiliar with. I'm not experienced with these types of things yet, because there hasn't been a flight simulator game that I really wanted to play until now. Of course, Flight Simulator with all the mods and also X-Plane 11 are incredible games with tons of mods available, and I was just always intimidated by those and wanted something more basic. And the fact that this has all this at vanilla, depending on what version you get, of course a lot of these things are available here, except for some of the airfields and aircraft, but still a great experience with lots of detail. APU bleed needs to be active, so let's do that. That is now turned on. External power now needs to be disengaged and turned off. There we are. Fuel pumps now need to be turned on, so we'll turn on the left tank, right tank, and individual fuel pumps. Pump 1 and 2 are now active. And that is it for this first page after the beacon's turned on, which is now. There we go. Page 1 complete. Excellent. Let's proceed to starting the engine. So now we'll need to, this is very easy steps here, thrust levers to idle. We'll just need to verify that those are in the 0 position, and they are 0%. Good. Then we'll make sure the engine mode selector, I'm going to actually make sure the evaluation's turned on here too, just to make sure we're good to go. Engine mode selector needs to be IGN to start, so we'll go ahead and turn that to the right. And there it is. Then we'll need to turn on Engine Master 2, Engine Master 1, and confirm that the engines are stabilized. That'll just take a second or two. We'll take a look at our screen then to confirm that they're stable. And let's see if these are starting up. Let's go back and look outside. Well, there you go. Listen to that. Sounds pretty good to me. Good. Okay. So we'll go ahead and make sure that those are good to go. Confirm that they are stable. We're looking at the screen, and they both seem to be quite stable. And they're increasing, so let's take a look at that. Oh, that is beautiful. I'm not going to interrupt that sound. Just listen for a moment. Alright, they just need to run stable like that for a moment, which they did, and we are good to go. Now we just need to finish the after starting engine process, which is then turning off Apu Bleed. So that's down here at the bottom. Apu Master Switch, which is toward the bottom too. We better make sure the evaluation's on, just so I can get the checks to make sure it's done. Apu Bleed is off. Apu Master Switch at the bottom, and then back to the very bottom where that little knob was to turn her back to normal mode, which is right here. Perfect. Alright, that is it for the engine startup. We're ready to go. I have no destination, so I guess we'll just take off and never be seen again, which is probably something you don't want with an aircraft, but it'll be the ending of like Terminator 2, where it's just we'll go off into the sunset, wherever we want to go. We'll take a we'll vote with everybody on board and see where they want to head. Tahiti? That sounds cool to me. It's going to be a long distance flight though. Okay, let's go ahead and close that then since we're done. And we'll go back to ATC. And we'll go ahead and tune in here for the ground. And we'll request, let's see, parking and fueling options, clearance, depart, remain in pattern. Should be pushback here. Is it under the other tab? Oh, ground services, yeah, at the very bottom. There it is. All right, we'll request pushback. All right, Tokyo Ground, Airbus ASX320 requesting pushback. Airbus ASX320 pushback request accepted. Good. All right, we'll be pushed out of here then. We're getting kicked out. Oh, nice. Lets you see the aircraft from the windows, too, or the engines from the windows. Unfortunately, I was trying to bring that up again. It seems like it sounds just like we're outside the aircraft. All right, pushback will begin here in just a moment. And we also need to disengage the brake, which is something they don't tell you in the startup process. I forgot to press Control period, which is also another thing that comes up. It's not part of the startup, but it is part of your objectives. So after reaching a safe maneuvering distance, ask ATC to end pushback. So we'll have to see if we're far enough back then. I'll probably go a little extra. I've not flown one of these aircraft before, so we'll just have to kind of take her as she is. And I don't know which way we'll depart either. Probably towards the west, maybe if we can. Alright, let's go ahead and stop pushback. Take a second or two for them to acknowledge that. And ATC to request taxi clearance. Alright, request end pushback received. Go back to clearance. We'll go back inside the aircraft now. And let's request clearance to taxi. Let's go, let's see here. Which direction were we facing? I believe it was west that we wanted to go. Oh, you can hear the engines firing up. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, boy. Oh, oh, we're getting fired. Wait, why is it doing that? Oh, our throttle was completely down. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, uh-oh. Little help? Maybe another pushback, please? Will this work? Let's see. Oh, my throttle was pulled completely down. I don't know what happened. Well, that's nice of them to help me out. Thank you. Oh, geez. Well, luckily there's, oh boy. Alright, we're back in line now. Fantastic. So we've requested to taxi to the east. Short runway 22, taxiway W7, contact tower when ready. Okay. Well, we're going to go over that away then. Alright, time to go. We're going to try to make our way to the taxiway then. And see if we can just swing back to the other direction there. Parking brake is disengaged again. We're going to have to make a tight turn here. Wow, that airport looks really cool. I've never seen this section of it up close. Did you see some of those cars on the bridge there on the left side trying to do like some big jumps? Alright, we're going to have to be very careful with our power here. So we're going to try to taxi all the way down to the end of the runway there and proceed with our takeoff. It should be a good time. Wanted to remind you that we know you have a lot of choices when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator videos, and it seems you made a poor one, but thanks to you who subscribed and also smacked that like button. Thank you very much. There'll be a on-flight credit of $300 million for drinks. Not available on any other flight, and we're also out of drinks. Sorry. Alright, let's proceed to the end of the taxiway here and see if we can get off the ground. We'll be taking the first runway here just to speed things up a little bit. I really like the startup process, and with practice will become perfection with all the times that I'll attempt to take off and land and do startup procedures. So I'm very excited to be excited about a game where I really want to learn, and learn all the aircraft too, especially the large jets and the private jets as well. There are currently 2 jets available in this preview version that I'm playing with. Both the A320 and the 747-8 are available at the moment, with others coming very soon, and we should see some more available at another time. Do taxiways have not straight lines like this? I don't know if I've ever seen that before, where they're all over the road like this. Should be handcrafted. Reduce speed to 15 and exit runway. Well, oh, I see. We've made this our destination as well as our takeoff position, which is fine since we have nowhere to go. Alright, let's see. So yeah, this is our departure and also our arrival. So we'll basically be going around the block. It's one way to make a practice flight by just taking off and landing back at the same airfield if you'd like. Good way to practice takeoff and landing. Okay. Should be at the end of the runway now. Quite a fast turn from me. Ooh, you can see Mount Fuji in the distance. Check that out. Beautiful. Alright, we are already clear for takeoff. So we'll just proceed out. Mostly because I'm still having an issue with my braking. I can turn on parking brakes, but I'm having some difficulty getting regular braking to work. Let's see if I can actually... I'm trying to use my joystick right now to do that, but it doesn't seem to function, so let's just hit the parking brake. It'll be a kind of an unpleasant stop, but there we go. Okay, so we are ready for takeoff. Aircraft behind us ready to go, so let's go ahead and proceed. Let's see. I've hit the button for flaps as well. But don't worry, newbie pilot here. If you know what I'm doing wrong, I'm sure you'll be happy to do it right when the game comes out. You really should try this yourself. I'm sure many people watching will be very excited to give this a shot on their own. And as it is a simulator as well as it is a game, it is meant for newbies to learn and for pros to show off and for everyone to enjoy. And that's what makes it a good game. And a sim. Yay! Mediocre at best. Mediocre Airlines is a go. Fantastic. Alright, let's bring that landing gear in.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
Is that landing gear coming in? Yep, there it is. There we go.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
Yeah, no kidding. We're overspeed.
Overspeed.
Alright, let's go see Mount Fuji.
Overspeed.
Is this guy Sean Connery? Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Alright, well, that is a beautiful takeoff, I would say, and I can't wait to have many more. At least I didn't go into the dirt, and I'm not on fire yet. That's good for me. Alright, folks, thank you very much for tuning in for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Can't wait to do more on the channel. I can't wait to improve my skills and knowledge as a amateur, newbie, flight enthusiast. Definitely no pilot, but maybe one day. Maybe one day. Alright, folks, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.